everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
And that's all. You got one aorta and one to take care of. And if you don't monitor your blood pressure, was so critical, and that's for anybody. Check your blood pressure, because your blood pressure going up and down does damage to the aorta or to your vessels. It will stretch, shrink it until it blows, just like a hose pipe. So keep it steady. But it's very important, and I want to thank you for having me on here.
No problem, Diane. I really appreciate you. And I lost my grandfather at 3 years of age on my mom's side to aortic dissection. And then 2 years ago, I had three people. One was old, one was middle-aged, and one was 23 years old, die of aortic dissection. So you never know when it could happen. It does not play favorites.
No, it don't. And what's so ironic, a year after I dissected, I had a niece that was going to be 29. Perfect health, a bodybuilder. She was modeling for one of their bodybuilding competition for the swimsuit. She got up on stage, Doug, and it was so crazy because I received a phone call saying Diane Marie died. I said, what? And they said that she collapsed. That was it. Instantly. Just walking on stage in her bathing suit. Autopsy report came back, aortic dissection. If they would have had her on the table, they couldn't have saved her, which brings me back why it is important for, if you got kids, grandkids, cousins, whatever, get checked. It does not discriminate.
It could happen anytime, like a volcano eruption, you know?
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And it is scary. When it does, I thought my whole world would end. And for me, my whole world is just beginning. And if I could just save one person, and that was my goal. I have purpose. Find a purpose, no matter, even if you're having cancer or any other illnesses that you're dealing with, take the positive, turn it into a negative. And that's the way I rise up every morning, Doug.
Very proud of you, Diane. I try my best on that front as well, knowing I have autism, bipolar, and ADHD, you know. Same with you. When I first got diagnosed with those, I thought that my life was never going to be the same, but look where I'm at years later, you know, in a good headspace, knowing that there's goodness ahead of me, but also the bad days. We cannot forget that there will be bad days occasionally. That's just life, you know.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's and not just you personally to learn, but also to keep in mind, and for any of the caregivers out there or loved ones watching this, you are victims too, because you're having to take care of your loved one, and you have your own journey to go as taking care of this person, and it's very important for them to get educated as well. You know,
Definitely.
yes, I have a friend that reached out to me. She just got married, and turned out that her husband went to the hospital 3 months into her marriage and had aortic dissection. And now, she told me she didn't feel like she was married. She felt like she was like more like a maid, and I feel for her. But the struggle is real, and there's support groups out there for caregivers and family members. Because, if you lose, a person loses their health in a sense, so does the family. Because, like, I have trouble remembering things, and my husband has to put up with me and listen. And sometimes I get irritable, and that's all normal. And I thought it was just me, but through therapy, I learned that this is okay, and this is all part of it.
Same with me, the lowest point, but also the turning point I was in was a few years back when I was dealing with bipolar symptoms before my diagnosis. I remember running away from my house, which was located within distance of a church, a Christian church, and my mom was able to find me via the phone tracking app, and I was
Hmm.
lying in front of a crucifix, like praying to Jesus that he would heal me, that I would not live with this pain anymore. But I just sat there lying for a bit until I was found. My mom came in and saw me just lying on the ground, but obviously still alive. And she looked at me and said, "You finished there or what?" You know what I mean? And she was, and I just remember being like, "Yes." And that's when I made the decision to go into therapy, you
Right.
know, because,
Therapy is good.
yeah, it was just me lying there, just sort of hopeless, hoping for God to cure me magically, and just mom coming in, just being like, "Are you done there or what?" You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Which was
That's
her
right.
subtly telling me, "You got to get a grip on yourself."
Yeah.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.